kind of stranded at the moment. I picked up my load last night or early this morning, and now I've got a flat on one of my trailer tires. It's 2:47 on Saturday afternoon. I've been sitting here waiting for this tire guy to show up, who supposedly is on his way now. I first called in about 3:30 this morning, and I'm still sitting here. We'll see what happens. But anyway, while I'm sitting here, I wanted to take a moment and point out something to everyone about these Hurricane Express leases. One of the fees that they charge you is, I think it's 20 cents a day, 20 cents per mile. Charge you 20 cents per mile, and part of what that covers is depreciation. Okay, now here's what the contract says: 20 cents per mile, all paid miles, as a non-refundable charge for depreciation, tires, and scheduled preventative maintenance performed at the owner's shop. Under no circumstances is this charge refundable. 20 cents per mile. Now, for those of you who don't understand what depreciation is, when you buy a new truck, you're able to depreciate the value of that item over a certain period of time. If you financed it, you can depreciate the value of that item for the length of the loan. Alright, and that works on the assumption that, let's say you finance it for 5 years, that's working under the assumption that you're going to trade that vehicle every 5 years. And you can keep that depreciation going. But the IRS looks at it as you're spreading the cost of the asset over the years of service, or the projected years of service. You can take that money as a write-off on your taxes all in one lump sum, or you can spread it out over the life of the loan and take out so much per year on your taxes. But this old boy at Hurricane Express, that's another one of the scams that he's got in this agreement of his. He's depreciating the value of this truck that you're paying for on his taxes every single year, every quarter most likely. But he's charging you 20 cents a mile to cover that depreciation, and allegedly to cover scheduled maintenance and all of this. Now, while it supposedly is covering that scheduled maintenance, it also says in the agreement that you have to cover all the maintenance costs. So which is it? He's charging you depreciation on that vehicle that he owns, and you're leasing or renting, whatever you want to call it. And at the same time, he's getting that same money, and possibly even more, back from Uncle Sam in a write-off on his taxes. So he's kind of double dipping and screwing you in the process. You know, you can legally deduct all of these payments that you make every single week, and if you've got yours financed through traditional methods or leased through traditional methods, then you can write off those monthly payments. But if you're only one of these leases or lease purchases through the company, well, then you're making a weekly payment, and you can legally deduct that. You cannot, because it's technically not your vehicle, you don't own it, You didn't finance it. You cannot take the depreciation on your taxes, but you can write off the expense. He's putting in here things like, for example, if he breaches the contract, okay, any damages that you may or may not be entitled to will equate to 1 day's rental on that truck, 1 day's lease payment on that truck. So $75. Is that right? $75? Yeah, $75. But anyone who wants to try and push this kind of an agreement off on others, you're not a business person. You know, you're something, but you're not a business person. That's for damn sure. Anyway, I just wanted to point this out. You know, he's also charging $3.30 a day, $3.38 a day for this occupational accident insurance, which is quite similar to workers' comp, only workers' compensation is for employees, and you're not an employee. But a basic OCC plan, a basic policy will cover you, will cost you less than $1 a day. A very, very good policy that covers a lot, $30 to $60 a day, depending on where you get it. You know, you can get these through insurance companies like the Hartford and other places. Pretty much any insurance company will handle them, but you can also get them through OOIDA and quite possibly save yourself a little money there and get a better policy. So in the terms of this agreement, you're required to either buy his policy at $3.38 a day, and let's see, so that's over $100 a month that you're going to pay for his policy, and you have no idea what his policy even covers. But for less than $30 a month, less than $1 a day, you can get a very basic policy through another source, and then just provide them with proof of insurance, proof of coverage on that occupational accidental insurance. You can get a policy that covers a lot more still for less than what he's trying to charge you. $3.38 a day, almost $102 a month on a 30-day month. That's nuts. You know, that's blatant revenue stream for him. It's not about coverage for you. It's not even about coverage for him. It's coverage for him so that you have no claims against him, but then it's a revenue stream for him to the tune of $40, maybe $60 per person per month. Go figure. Now, if you've got more than 100 drivers on the road, a couple of hundred drivers on the road, and you're knocking down $40 to $60 a month in extra income off of them, not just the freight that they're hauling. I've read a number of these, and I thought EOS Trucking had one of the worst damn contracts in the industry. I stand corrected. Hurricane Express has, to this point, at all the contracts that I've read, all the contracts that I've gone through, Hurricane Express by far is the worst contract that I've come across to date. I don't see how anyone can make any money driving for this company. I really don't. This guy takes the term nickel and diming you to a whole new level. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about this provision, and I'll be back a little later with some more details on Hurricane Express. But this guy, man. Anyway, you guys be safe, take care, and I'll see you down the road. Bye.